Are you serious? Are you serious, folks? There's a article just come breaking today out of the United Kingdom. The Express just put out an article. It's called, "Is Blood Moon Apocalypse Really Coming? Wildfires, earthquakes, red moon signs of the end." Well, here's how the article kind of reads. I'll read some of it. Despite scientists and skeptics insisting the rare lunar event due on September 28th will not signal the end of the world, there are still some biblical conspiracy theorists who maintain that September 28th's blood moon will trigger a catastrophic global events. Now, some even claim that the world is already under the influence of the so-called blood moons. After wildfires in California, the USA turned the moon, after the wildfires in California in the United States, and has turned the moon blood red over the weekend. Internet and TV pastors are using the fear sweeping the internet to encourage people to give themselves to God as the only way to save themselves. Well, we're not using fear, but the Bible does say some are saved by fear, pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted with the flesh. That's actually in the book of Jude. But we actually are getting people saved through grace. For by grace are you saved through faith. It's not in ourselves. It's a gift of God, not of works, least any man should boast. Now, I'm in this article, and I really appreciate the Express actually writing the article. They are very balanced in it. They're talking about myself, Pastor Paul Begley, Pastor John Hagee, Pastor Mark Biltz, and they talk about the fact that there's no question that there's apocalyptic events taking place. The fact that the moon has turned blood red several times, unscheduled blood moons in July and August, and now even in September. The fact that we have wildfires burning out of control in California, and literally it burnt 2 cities to the ground, which my dad in July during Summer Fire in Indiana, we had a conference called Summer Fire. My dad stood up and prophesied to the congregation of people that the Lord was going to burn the city. The city's going to burn, thus saith the Lord. I don't know which city it is, but you can know this. The city's going to burn. And folks, on Sunday, on Rosh Hashanah, 2 cities in California, Middletown, California, and another city, both of them, the cities burned. Over 1,000 buildings, over 560 homes, and the cities literally burned down, including a school and several other business establishments. So, and then we've had a flash flood, killing 8 people, 5 missing in Utah this morning. We've had a 6.6 earthquake hit Mexico. We've had a double volcano eruption in Mexico. Let me just read on with the article here. They actually used some really good, took some really good pictures here. They actually quote me in one of my YouTube videos. The article goes on to say the eruption on Mount Aso in Japan on Sunday morning, no one was hurt after the affected residents were evacuated. This came 2 days after a 5.3 magnitude earthquake had hit off the coast of Japan. Also, these chronic wildfires near Sacramento, California, quadrupling in size to 20,000 acres over the weekend. A 6.6 magnitude earthquake hit Mexico following 2 eruptions simultaneously in Mexico. Numbers of earthquakes also in Mexico and off the coast of California. Also, a month ago, Ecuador had a volcano that erupted that many are afraid is going to repeat another eruption. Also, the blood moon prophecy began when 2 Christian preachers, and they who have huge followings in the United States, claimed that the date of the last of the 4 blood moons over the past 18 months are due to occur at the end of September would signal the end of the world as we know it before the second coming of Jesus Christ. And the fourth is a super blood moon in a series of blood moons, which also have 6 full moons in between them. It's going to take place September 28th, and also that's the Feast of Tabernacles. Despite the 2 evangelists, John Hagee of San Antonio, California, and Mark Biltz of Washington State, they're being accused, of course, of making people afraid or false warnings, but they're not. They're sharing with you what's actually happening and how that these relate to biblical prophecy. Also in the article, it talks about the worst forest fires are near Sacramento, California. They now take up 94 square miles over the weekend, and the smoke is billowing as high as 35,000 feet. And many businesses and homes have been destroyed. Also, flash flooding near San Antonio, Texas, due to heavy rains. And the United States-based internet and TV pastors have been warning that the September blood moon signals the end of the world for months. We're not saying it's the end of the world on September 28th. We're saying these are signs that we're living in the last days, and the end of the world obviously is coming. We don't know the day nor the hour, but we know it's coming. And then they quote me, and they did a very good job quoting me, I have to say, in a YouTube video filmed yesterday by Pastor Paul Begley, based in Indiana. He claims that the second coming of Christ will follow the blood moons, filmed an appeal to everyone to get baptized, to save themselves, while traveling to carry out new baptisms with news of a 6.6 magnitude earthquake in Mexico. Yeah, that's true. I baptized 11 people down in Rockwall, Texas. He says, quote, "Are you serious? Are you serious? There's been a 6.6 earthquake just hit in Mexico. Very powerful, and you have to understand there are 2 volcanic eruptions, 2 different volcanoes yesterday in Mexico also. Quote, these are the birthing pains of the end times. You certainly can see the signs everywhere," Begley says. Quote, "Folks, it's time to get things right with God. You need to be saved. You need to be baptized. And you need to get into the family of God and to get your names written in the Lamb's Book of Life. And we've got some folks who have done that, and we're going to be baptizing them." That's true. So they quoted me correctly. Now, the videos of the volcanoes and the fires on YouTube have been accompanied by comments, of course, by folks. Some are agreeing with me, and of course some are skeptical of what I got to say, and I'm sure the same for John Hagee and Mark Biltz of El Shaddai Ministries in Washington. And of course John Hagee did write a book, The 4 Blood Moons, and made a movie, a documentary movie on the 4 blood moons. Been very successful with it. So anyway, you can read the article for yourself. It's quite lengthy and it's quite in depth, but they did do I think they did a good job. I don't agree with everything they said, but I do say this. I do appreciate the fact that they covered these events and they recognize that there is something definitely going on. And so they're being balanced. They're being fair and balanced in both portraying what I'm saying, what John Hagee's saying, what Mark Biltz is saying, and what the skeptics are saying. So read it for yourself. I'll put the link below. And give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time. I want to personally thank the Express from the United Kingdom for covering it, because I can tell you, the mainstream media in America is spiritually asleep. They are asleep. Time is running out. Give your life to Jesus Christ.